Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls on the YouTube channel, what is going on? Thank you guys for tuning in again. We're just about to get started.
All right.
So, dude, I had a fun realization the other day. Okay, give me 3 characters Stan Lee has created. Go. Just real common characters.
All right. Hulk.
Cool.
Fantastic Four.
Okay.
That's more than.
Okay.
Yep.
I can work with that. We'll start there. So, Hulk, Bruce Banner, BB, Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, RR, Susan Storm, SS, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, PP. All of Stan Lee's characters, his most notorious ones, all are alliterations. They have the same first and last initial. I mean, keep playing with it. It's gonna be true, you know?
Oh
Yeah. It's funny how that worked out. I mean, I don't know the history on that because I just learned that fact very recently. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of hit me the other day where it's like, wait a minute. And I was reading through and I looked it up, and sure enough, he was a fan of the alliteration, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, he thought it was catchy. He thought, it helped people remember the names of.
He was a fan of the alliteration, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, he thought it was catchy. He thought, it helped people remember the names of the characters, and it kind of became a staple moving forward in the comic book community because it was like, if you want a superhero name of some or a comic book.
Help me think of some others, dude. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Who else did Stan Lee help create? My brain is drawing a blank, dude. Right?
Yeah.
Wow, I feel dumb all of a sudden. Fuck.
It'll come.
Yeah, like 20 minutes in, I'm gonna interrupt you, brother. I have to announce, but
right. Living, which I normally say, but now I feel like that means more than it typically does.
Right? Yeah, that is kind of an announcement. Living.
Oh yeah.
Another day.
But with that being said, guys, welcome back to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I am here with the homie Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how you guys all doing today? Thank you guys for tuning in again to the YouTube channel if you decided to watch this. And as always, thank you guys for listening. You're all super cool.
Absolutely.
You're super cool for listening to this nerd podcast. Oh, yeah.
I can't think of nothing better to be doing with your time.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is the perfect time influencer and user.
Exactly. Unplug from the chaotic reality of life and plug into the awesome fictional fantasy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, guys, we can go ahead and get right into this one.
Let's do it. This is going to be a fun one tonight. Yeah.
So today's episode, guys, we'll be discussing within the realms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe how to properly introduce characters that aren't currently in the MCU. So we'll be talking about how to introduce certain characters into the MCU and certain plot points and how to do it properly. Actually, I thought about this, and it's like there's honestly 2 ways to look at it, and I would be fascinated to explore both avenues.
Sure.
Because there are 2 definitely distinct paths to think about this.
Okay.
One path is in our own head canon, the very best way to bring in these characters.
Right.
And the other option is the most realistic way to bring in these characters.
Oh, that's sad.
Under current conditions, what would be the most realistic way these characters can be introduced? I think there's a lot of value to both.
Oh, no, there is. Yeah. Because realistically, we've been very wrong in the past with how they decided to introduce a character.
Yeah.
And in some cases, that's been very fortunate because they played off well. And in some cases, we really wish they listened to the show.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, that sounds like a really dope idea. A lot of the notes I have also taken here are going to reflect on potential examples we can play with in order to help, do MCU's job. That is a joke.
Because they need our help so much
because they so badly
right.
need. Yeah, no.
And for future reference, guys, if you guys really enjoyed this episode, we're going to do it for other properties too, such as obviously DC and Warner Brothers, how they can properly introduce other characters that haven't made the live action debut.
Yep. DC, Dark Horse, even. Yeah, it'd be fun, dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah, lots and lots of ways to go about it.
Yep. So. But tonight, MCU.
MCU. Yeah.
So yeah, dude, let's hit the gas pedal.
Let's do it. Yeah. So, did you want to go first on this one, or do you want to?
Yeah, dude. So let's talk about. I don't know if there's a proper format that we want to hold to, because more often than not, we kind of like we stick to a format for all of 2 minutes and then go loose off the track and talk about it how we want. So I'll introduce a character, and then let's just jump straight into the idea of how, like you were saying, how they could introduce it and how they might actually realistically introduce it. Okay.
Right.
Let's start with a fun one here. Nova. That's a good one. Yeah.
So I guess which Nova first of all, because there is a distinction.
Oh, brother. I prepared for your thought, and I have both. So Richard Rider. Oh wait, there you go. Another Stan Lee character.
Was he created by Stan Lee?
I don't know. I mean, the alliteration tells me yes, but I don't know. No, Wolfman.
Marv Wolfman.
Mark Wolfman.
Marv,
Excuse me, Mark Wolfman. I remember the last name, Wolfman. But excuse me. So correction on that. But so Richard Rider first. Like a fun idea of like who would be the casting person for that, how they would introduce him, obviously, things like that. And then eventually, obviously, Sam Alexander. Now, Richard, I actually had a more confident idea on. If we were to introduce him into the MCU sometime soon, my vote actually, and this is one that's going to be controversial, and you're going to probably kick me under the table for saying this name.
Or I just punch you on camera.
Don't fucking punch me.
That'll get more views.
No. Well, it would get a lot of views. Okay, go ahead. Let me take the headphones off. But just make sure to hit off my nose, okay?
Gotcha.
Yeah, don't break the nose. Not again. But no. So Richard Rider, I think Rob McElhenney. How do you say his last name? Rob McElhenney.
Oh, the guy from Sunny in Philadelphia.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's kind of a funny personality in that product, in that TV show. He's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But I think he would actually make a really cool Nova, a Richard Rider Nova, dude. Yeah, kind of like a younger version, like whenever he's beginning to be Nova. You know, I could see him play both, where he's like potentially, if I'm not kind of like leaking over here, but let's say we get in the first shot we have of Nova is that he's been Nova for a while. He's a confident member of the Nova Corps, and he's dope and he's badass and he's competent. But then after that introduction in a separate movie, we get Nova, the self-titled movie, his origin movie, where we kind of learn about almost his, at times potentially goofy, but then becoming the hero, becoming the competent dude. And I feel like Rob would be dope for that, dude, after I learned how to say his last name properly. So excuse me, Rob. My apologies. You're funny. But that's a big one, dude.
Yeah, no, he'd be an interesting choice. I mean, I dig it. I mean, one thing, like we've already, like for those of you who maybe watched the show, like you know that he's already shown his ability to get in excellent shape.
Yeah. I mean, right? Good job.
Yeah. But you know, like I think about that, and you know, so with Nova, because I do want to talk about, you know, like potential ways to introduce the character, because honestly, even on the podcast, we've been discussing Nova showing up in the MCU since before Infinity War,
right?
And especially after Infinity War. I do wonder, however, what our chances are of getting a Nova, specifically Richard Rider, in a universe where they already have a Captain Marvel. It's almost like what reasoning would they give us?
True. Yeah. I mean, it'd be great. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And obviously, they're not afraid to play with the timetable a little bit. But considering that's kind of the route they went with Ant-Man, I could see it happening again, where we kind of like, past tense the adult version and go straight to the Sam Alexander version.
Yeah, I can see that too.
And that'd be cool with that.
It was for me, it was interesting, like because especially with Infinity War, it felt like they set the table. They already laid the groundwork to bring in Nova, and they did it with something that they're pretty good at, that clever Easter egg type thing, where you just hear that, oh man, Xandar was destroyed. Because Thanos went there to retrieve an Infinity Gem. And like, oh shit. Well, we know that at least in terms of modern day Marvel Comics, that was the kickoff for Annihilation and the destruction of Xandar. It wasn't Thanos, but still, the destruction really kicked off Richard Rider becoming the Nova. And so, like, I wonder, like, because I thought for sure then that, okay, this is it. We're getting Nova. They laid the groundwork.
Right? They've already planted the seed so well. How long does it take to grow?
And then it was like, well, maybe not. Because it's like they did that just to be like, okay, well, it's there if we want it to be. But if we decide to go a different direction, we don't have to lean into it.
And that's so smart on their part.
It is.
And it's so frustrating for our part.
It is.
Because it's like, bravo, you ingenious bastards.
Right.
I wanted that.
Yeah.
And now you just might stew on that. It's like, damn it. Never mind. I don't want to come up with an example. It's clear enough. But damn it, it's right. I mean, it's like, man.
Another example that I'm not to get too far ahead because I do want to finish it with Nova.
Yeah, of course.
Like, another example of them just kind of maybe laying the groundwork is, of course, the whole Namor introduction with earthquakes
he's on my list.
Yeah,
that was so smart, dude. People were like Reddit theorizing over that for like a month straight, dude.
And like the thing of it is, like, as far as we, the consumers, know, at that time of filming, as far as we know, Marvel didn't technically own the rights to Namor. So it's like, that is a really clever way to, maybe that is Namor.
Right.
Maybe it's not.
That's just another example of great writing or a great flexibility in your writing. Even consideration, I'd say, for a bit, where it's like, hey, just, let's put this in here.
Right.
Yeah. We'll see if some story writer in the future needs this. And that's so cool, but it's so fucking frustrating because it's I want this though. Please do this sooner. Come on.
Also, just in terms of Nova though, and his potential introduction, like, they also had Guardians 1 and 2 to introduce him, man, because the first time we're introduced to the planet Xandar is in Guardians 1.
Yeah.
I mean, we see the Nova Corps play a huge part in that.
Do you think we might see him in Guardians 3?
It's possible. And I guess just kind of getting to, like, I guess the essence of this episode would be bringing in Nova in Guardians 3, because obviously we know that Guardians 3, at least assumedly, is going to be the Guardians, the current incarnation, and Thor.
Yeah. Well, there's already been an announcement that he is going to be in Guardians 3. Yeah.
Thor? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that we have now, the team we have now. So it's like, how do we incorporate Nova into this? And some of this with the Guardians movies is that obviously the more that they go on, the more people that they bring into the fold.
Yeah.
And
the more they explore the cosmos.
Yeah. And it's, I guess for me, it's like there's always potential pitfalls for stuff like that. Bringing in more characters into these movies, and it's like, how is everybody going to share the spot? First of all, you already have Thor in Guardians 3. I mean, like, if he doesn't have 45% of the screen time, then I'll be amazed if they don't give him that much.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to share the screen with the rest of the Guardians, who have already carved out their own little niche in the MCU. And so I guess just bringing in Nova, I don't know, like, part of me thinks maybe they respond to a distress signal, but I'm like, well, that's what they did in Endgame when they found Thor, or Infinity War when they found Thor.
Yeah.
So you can't really lean into that route.
No.
And also, like, a distress signal, how long at this point has Xandar been destroyed? It's been at least 5 years, because it's destroyed in Infinity War, 5-year gap, and then Endgame.
If they go that route, it's going to have to be very clever. It's going to have to be in my mind, it's gonna have to be a situation kind of like what they did with Sakaar, or MCU Sakaar, which is very different. Where we almost get like another planetoid somewhere far, far away from Earth that does have a well-established social structure that does inhabit a lot of people, and that we can have like a reason for there to be a lot of crossover stuff and a lot of other activity, where all of a sudden Nova's there for part of it and then gone. And like we get the introduction, and then it's really cool. He has a couple great scenes. All of the MCU fans blow the fuck up, like, what? Everyone, look who that is. We all know who that is now, obviously. Kind of like what they did with Thanos. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're gone. The plants has sprouted.
Yeah.
Potentially. But the more I think on that idea personally, that's not the way I like it. I'm torn, because I like that. And I like the idea of getting our Sam Alexander as our Nova. Come see, come saw.
Yeah. I'm more of a Richard Rider fan, but
I mean, same here, but
I guess another potential way to do it, and I mean, this is kind of a 2-for-1.
Sure.
Would be the more I think about it, I was like, well, why don't they just do the Annihilation Wave? They can, they can bring in Annihilus as the big bad for free, and they can essentially have the Guardians and Thor maybe stumble upon this war that's about to begin, and we can have the last of the Nova Corps already there, which would be, of course, Nova.
Yeah.
Fending off the Annihilation Wave, and he needs help from the Guardians and Thor. I mean, there's something there. As of now, we don't have any idea what kind of villain they're going to use for Thor. I mean, for Guardians 3. So that would be a really cool option if they wanted to use Annihilus.
I think that's a good idea too. Actually, that would be efficient, at least for bringing in another potential villain. So
I mean, in that way, because like I feel like obviously that there's so many benefits to looking to your source material, your comics for guidance or for potential ideas, because especially if the comics were popular and they got over, well, this works. And also for simplicity's sake, you can just be like, well, this is really how Nova was reintroduced in Marvel Comics through this Annihilation Wave arc. Maybe we can bring him back that way. I mean, man, there's a lot of cool potential characters they could throw in there. I mean, hell, and it'd be almost like a spiritual successor to the comics, because the modern day incarnation of the Guardians of the Galaxy, they were all kind of reintroduced in the Annihilation arc. So that's just a cool way to kind of maybe pay homage even.
So that's how we want it done. Let's talk about how we really think it's going to happen.
I don't think that Nova is going to come in the MCU
at all.
Not anytime soon.
I mean, but this is all about the future. So I mean,
and I mean, even for the MCU, the future's like the next 5 years, and I don't. But if we look beyond that, even I would say they'll probably bring in maybe Sam Alexander for a TV show.
I'm sitting with that for a second, homies. Give me a second. I can see that, especially if Disney gets, their own ideas on the success of Stranger Things, and they try to do something similar, almost with Sam Alexander being kind of one of the forefronts of that. I mean, it makes sense. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like they've already done coincidentally an easy job setting up all this other stuff, the Annihilation potential run and things like that. So it's interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know, because this whole episode is based on the power of speculation.
Maybe we do know, and we just don't want to tell you guys that we know, because we're legally obligated to not purposely leak any.
Hey! Watch out, the contract, man. Okay,
shit.
The contract.
My bad. I mean, also, I guess, and I hate to say it like this, there's no two ways to say it, but I could also see them introducing Nova if Captain Marvel 2 bombs. The reason why there's not a Nova right now is because, I mean, you don't really need a Nova if you have Captain Marvel. One who can both fight space threats and Earth threats, and especially as OP as they've made her. I mean, there's really no need.
Well, hey, camera's rolling. So,
oh man.
I don't know, man. I got mixed feelings on that, obviously. It kind of depends what happens here. With, like you said, Captain Marvel, that is a fair point to bring up because she does, on the surface level, seem to have so much resemblance to the idea of what Nova is. So, as much as that's painful to admit, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Brie Larson might be taking the stage as far as superpowered space fighters go.
Yeah. Or I mean, maybe they share the spotlight in Captain Marvel too. You know.
Well,
that's true. Marvel really doesn't like.
No, I was about to say this is Brie Larson, brother. Yeah.
The one thing about it, I don't see that.
I don't like that idea. Yeah.
Me either, because I think we're maybe thinking the same. Like if they did put Nova in Captain Marvel 2, he would have like a far back seat to her.
Yep. I mean, shit. They made the villain take a daggum back seat, and he was supposed to be the villain.
Yes.
But hey,
that is true.
We've hashed we've hashed this out before. So.
Yeah.
Nova.
But you're right. It is hard thinking like, what's the most realistic way that Marvel would potentially bring him in any incarnation? You know,
the TV show makes a lot of sense because Marvel is going to have some cool stock in that. And that's interesting. I like that idea. I still think that he would be a strong enough character and that he would quickly become a fan favorite enough that you could start him off with a movie too.
Yeah.
I could see either or happening here, but
you know, I do know that this was some time ago even, but there was someone at Marvel, maybe Kevin Feige, who said it, but they want to really explore more of the cosmic side of Marvel. You know,
he's literally a French door set into the cosmic side of Marvel. Yes. A double door, guys. If you don't know what that is, but
and, you know, it's kind of weird because he's one who they've always had access to as far as being able to use them. And they went with the Guardians first, who were
very interesting.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, they spun the shit out of that yarn.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely worked, and fucking kudos to them.
Yeah.
But it is kind of curious to wonder why he hasn't gotten his intro yet.
I don't know.
Yeah. I do also know this, maybe on a slightly unrelated note.
Okay.
If they do want to use Nova, they better maybe do it sooner rather than later because.
Why do you say that?
Because if DC finally comes out with the Green Lantern Corps movie, then.
That's true, man. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Disney, guys, we are your friends. Do not sue us ever, please. Please. But that is a dope idea. That's how you can further put DC into the ground. If that's your goal, that's probably your goal. Just come out with a better Nova movie than they ever did a Green Lantern movie. And right there, you're done. Your stock just went up some more. Just an idea.
Yeah, that would be that'd be a concept.
Yeah.
I mean, because once again, DC, man, like I don't know who's fucking running the ship up there, but they can never keep their shit decided. So they're like, well, let's do a Green Lantern Corps movie, and then almost 3 years later, there's still really no update. So yeah,
right.
Yeah. But I mean, that's because there are some similarities. Hell, we even did an episode talking about the similarities between certain properties and the Nova Corps. And
that was one of the that was one of the better comparison episodes we've done, man. Because they're so fucking similar. Yeah, so fun.
Yeah.
But
I guess ultimately, realistically speaking, I think that Nova stands his best chance of making his debut in Guardians 3. I think this really stands his best chance. As
a surprise reveal, dude, I think there's a lot of value in that. Yeah. I will go ahead and add this, kind of taking us back around the circle here. I mentioned Rob McElhenney. That's what I'm going to go with because that sounds smooth. Rob McElhenney. Forgive us if we're saying it wrong, or me. But if I'm saying it wrong, because I'm just going to take the brunt of that right there. But I will also add one more candidate to the potential casting role there. There's an online favorite that has already been up and rolling for a potential Richard Rider, and that man is Armie Hammer.
Oh,
none other than the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. There's already been a few votes online for him, so I could not talk about him. Yeah.
I mean, Armie, he just has that, I guess, no homo, but that traditional build and look of a superhero mode.
Yeah. No homo? Why was that no homo?
I mean, because like the traditional superhero build mode is a handsome white
big
guy.
old.
Yeah. They're all handsome. They're all giant, handsome white guys.
Okay.
I mean,
okay. Our job is to judge superhero stuff. So, in my mind, you're just doing your job, brother.
I mean, you look at Hugh Jackman. You got Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. Henry Cavill.
I mean, you're selling your point pretty well. But hey, superhero jobs.
Yeah. Asterisk this one. Asterisk to Jason Momoa. But yeah, that's
okay. So I can see where your thought process was coming from there. Okay. I was disconnected to that. Yeah, but yeah, dude. So Rob McElhenney or Armie Hammer, we will see. Well, I mean, they might surprise us with the surprise cast too.
It could be an unknown,
Cool. Oh, by the way, if they were to go the Sam Alexander route, just to answer a potential question that a homie or two might have out there, I have no idea who you would cast as that. That would have to be a surprise actor who was produced in the clone Disney factory or something. Because surprise me, you're good.
You get Tom Holland to do it. Okay.
He looks no. That's Tom's little brother.
He looks surprisingly like Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Wow. So he had to be like at least I'll say 7 years younger, so to sell the the teenage look again. And
they computer program him to have black hair, actually. So they changed the dial on him. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah. What color is Sam's hair?
I don't know. I was just making a joke. Yeah. Sam's hair could be blonde. I don't think it is, but actually,
because I'm trying to goddamn, every panel I picture him in, he's wearing the goddamn helmet.
I think I did see a picture of him without the helmet. I think it is black hair.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't call my shit on that. I don't know. That was just like a Google search, I want to say, where I was just kind of looking stuff up in preparation for this. But that's a hard maybe.
A hard maybe.
Yeah. The hardest of maybes. Yeah. No, not the hardest of maybes. It's Sam Alexander. Come on. But a hard maybe nevertheless.
Right. All right. So.
Yep.
Moving forward here.
Yeah.
Just to kind of stay in the costume realm a little bit longer.
Sure.
One I had was none other than Adam Warlock.
Okay. Let's talk this. Let's have this conversation. Again, however, for the first time on mic, I think. What?
Oh, this is not the first time on mic.
It's not?
No.
Okay. The first time in recent memory on mic. Okay. Because there. No, here you go. First time on video.
Okay.
There you go. That will do. So yeah, dude, Adam Warlock. I'm not upset that we didn't get him in Endgame, but that was the time to bring him out. So now I'm really curious what we're gonna do with him. I mean, yeah, dude, we got to respeculate on how this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
But
so I think even more so, as heavily as Marvel has leaned into Nova with the destruction of Xandar and seeing the planet, I think that they leaned way more into Adam Warlock because it wasn't a potential Easter eggy thing. It was a, hey guys, look at this.
Yeah,
this is
his name.
Right.
That was a close-up shot
of his cocoon.
And someone saying his name. Yeah. Literally, we ended a movie and the post-credit scene with that. And now crickets.
Yeah, nothing.
Chirping. Nothing.
Yeah, and Marvel has, albeit a small history, they do still have a history of retconning events within the MCU.
Yeah.
Like seeing the Infinity Gauntlet in Odin's treasure room, and then Hela being like, nope, it's a fake. And then that was that. I mean, there's
It was a wax model.
I guess so. Tony Stark not having the arc reactor or get removed in Iron Man 3 and then Avengers 2.
And then just having one again.
Just has it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. If shit doesn't work, it doesn't work. Just brush it aside and move on. But as far as Adam Warlock goes, man, it's like I don't know if he can walk this one back so easily. And seeing that he was just so intricately tied to Thanos in terms of like story.
Yeah.
I mean, but fuck, so was Marvel, and we see how that went down.
They're gonna have to rewrite their own canon for this, dude.
Yeah.
They're going to have someone say, okay, we planted the seed. Is it time to hatch it yet?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, let's do it. Bad imagery, you don't hatch seeds, you get my point.
Right.
So
well, yeah.
Woo! Yep. You hatch them eggs. That's how that works.
Is that how that works?
That's how that works. I promise.
I've been sticking my eggs in fertilizer and dirt.
Okay. You shouldn't, but okay.
Oh shit.
Mm-mm.
Well.
Mm-mm.
But my egg tree still is on the way, right?
You know what, good buddy? Just for you it is. Sweet. Just for you.
That's all I need.
All right?
Homies,
don't lie to them.
I heard they come already hard boiled. Anywho.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oof. I'm imagining an egg tree now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, wow, we got off the deep end for literally 5 seconds there. Adam Warlock, yeah, they're gonna have to rewrite his whole bit, dude. Like, I don't even know where to start with that. Like, what? Okay, question one.
Okay.
To help potentially write this shit out, let's pause and kind of come away from all this for a second. What is another villain? Just off the cuff of your head, clear your thoughts. Who is another villain Adam Warlock would be worthy to fight? Who he would be called for in a time of great need?
Magus comes to mind.
I mean, without a doubt, cuckoo. But who else? Because Magus was kind of like created upon during the events here, thereafter of Annihilation, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Negative.
Yeah. No. Excuse me. That was the Infinity War. Yeah, whenever he was called out and whatnot. Yeah. That's whenever we get the introduction to at least Adam Warlock and then Magus thereafter.
Well, I mean, they both had technically been around well before that, but
okay. Well, Magus is essentially Adam Warlock. No, give us a quick rundown.
Help
me remember because my dumb ass doesn't.
I mean, so much of Marvel and DC's cosmic shit can be confusing, but as far as Magus goes, originally he was in both versions are evil versions of Adam Warlock,
right.
But originally he was a version of Adam Warlock from the future, and it was Adam seeing what he was going to become and trying to stop that version, and Magus being like, no. The current incarnation of Magus and the most well-known version is when Adam Warlock received the Infinity Gauntlet with the gems, he became all-powerful, obviously. He wanted to really nullify himself of any kind of emotional charge to make any rash decisions, so he exuded like the quote-unquote good side and his bad nature. One became the goddess and one became Magus.
Okay.
And that's the version.
So I knew that Magus was too close to Adam Warlock and that he was him in some incarnation. I was unaware of both details there. But that's really cool. So it's I don't know. I feel like I want to see Adam Warlock take on a different villain, and the consequences of said fight, Magus is thus born.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, we're not afraid to rewrite the idea of Magus and how he comes to.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like, well, it's something that would make much more sense, and then plus plant another future seed here is like a great sacrifice that this Adam Warlock, this ungodly cocooned being, does for the sake of blank team. And all of a sudden, the consequences of said sacrifices, Adam Warlock helps save the day, but Magus is looming. And all of a sudden, we kind of see like maybe a cutscene potentially of this archetype, this darker self that comes and sprouts out, and all of a sudden kind of, begins to be, and then that leads into this awesome idea later on of of Adam dealing with self. The movies that Marvel knows how to direct too much.
Right.
Hero versus themselves.
Yeah.
Black Panther, Gold Cheetah, blah blah blah. So
Gold Cheetah.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You get my point though. But yeah, man. That's my mindset though. What's yours? Yeah.
I mean, honestly, and I hate to go back to this will again, but honestly, this is what I think is the most realistic way, at least. My realistic take is Guardians 3.
Yeah, we're kind of hitting that well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's because the water tastes good there, and it also makes sense.
What about Marvel 2? Captain Marvel 2? Just to throw the hat in the ring, what are your thoughts on that? Because that is another cosmic key that we see here, but we only really see the 2, so we don't really have a plethora of logical options to pull from.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that Guardians 3 is an option there. That makes sense.
Yeah, and plus he was introduced in Guardians 2, or at least the idea of him in Guardian 2.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So,
True.
And like that's the thing, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, man, they opened up so many potential doors for a lot of characters.
Yeah. What was the name? We do have all those other characters that were introduced at the end of Guardians 2. A bunch of them, which were actual Guardians of the Galaxy from the comics.
Like Starhawk and his OG gang. Yeah. Yeah. I do wonder if we ever get any kind of heavier version of them live action. I don't know.
Wow. Who knows at this point? Because I mean, that was Stallone. That was Miley Cyrus. That was,
I think, Michael Rosenbaum was.
He was the computer, I think.
Yeah, I forget the name of that guy, but yeah. We essentially had
if you don't know, I don't know.
Stakar's team of Guardians, which was like an earlier version of the Guardians, like the 70s version of the Guardians. As far as comics go, but yeah, I don't know. It would be really cool to kind of see them again in some capacity, but also, to be honest, I wouldn't be upset if we didn't.
Yeah, no, me neither. Because I kind of forgot about them. There's much more interesting things happening in the world.
I view them as just like a really, really cool Easter egg.
Yeah. Excuse me, homies.
But thinking of other ways to bring Adam Warlock into the scene. It's I mean, so like the last time we saw him, he was on Aisha's ship.
Yep.
And I don't know if in the terms of the MCU, if they were part of the Universal Church of Truth or not, but we'll say yes.
I don't remember that being thrown around, but yeah, let's go with it. Sure.
But if they were, then so her whole motive at the end was, I want to hatch this cocoon that has my Adam in it, so he can go out and.
I'm sorry, buddy. You didn't finish your sentence there.
Didn't I?
No, I don't think you did. No, Where is he going to go do? I'm really anxious to see.
Oh, you have to go back and listen. Yes.
Damn. Rewind that.
Right. I mean, to be fair, I really don't remember what her motive was or her reasoning. Like, I know that her crew was in disarray after Guardians 2.
Oh, yeah. No, her crew got fucked.
Yeah.
Because they all had, like, the game spaceships. Right. Yeah. No actual pilots.
Was she trying to hatch Adam to destroy the Guardians, or was there another, or was it Ego? I don't know.
It wasn't Ego, because Ego was a surprise reveal who saved the Guardians mid-escape route.
Right.
Because he was like, he was goofily riding the top of his starship, just standing there like, hey guys. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is space. Oh, go figure, you're a walking planetoid.
Right.
But I digress. So Ego wasn't the motive, so I don't know what the motive was to get Warlock, bibbidi bobbidi booed.
Yeah.
So
because I think the last time we see Aisha and
that's a reference
was after, like, midway through the first act, and Rocket steals the batteries and whatever, and they're trying to get them back, and then they get, for the most part, destroyed. So yeah, I guess maybe she was just trying to hatch Adam to get revenge on the Guardians. As far as my memory can tell.
Maybe that would be kind of interesting.
Mhm.
I would like to see that, where
Right.
he doesn't really become Magus,
Mhm.
but he acts the role of such. When in reality, we know Adam not to be a bad guy at all.
Yeah.
But we get the point. That would
Right.
nevertheless make a very interesting plot, because that would also mean potentially, brother, Adam Warlock versus Thor.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they're paying me the big bucks. No, I'm joking. I don't get paid shit.
You know, and when I think about Adam Warlock versus Thor, like that gets me very excited. And you know, I wish they didn't already play the card of having Vision live Mjolnir, because seeing Adam live Mjolnir would be very visceral. It would be very
true.
Cool to see.
That's true.
And plus,
that would break Thor. Like, how many people can lift my hammer now?
Right.
First off, Vision does it, and the world is stunned. Captain America does. Chris Evans actually, but Captain America lifts it and wields it better than you have in many a movies, and just owns that.
And let's be honest, it's gonna happen again in Thor 4.
Someone else is gonna lift it.
Someone else is gonna lift it and wield it way better than him.
Yep.
Yep.
I wonder if he's still gonna be Fat Thor. I mean, there's not as much food in space, so
that's an excellent question, man. And like, it's weird because
it's not like you can go back to Asgard for that home cooking. There ain't no home.
It's weird, man, because I found that like whenever I discuss like Fat Thor with certain parties, it's almost like I have to walk on eggshells. It's really weird. It's not
what?
That's not a thing.
Let's pause this a little bit longer, homies. What?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah, because like
why is the concept of Fat Thor potentially offensive? Because to be honest,
nothing that he
not that he himself is offensive, but that talking about the character in a positive or controversial light is offensive.
Yeah,
because I get what you're coming from,
right?
But why the fuck is that somewhere to come from?
Oh, because they think that he means more as Fat Thor than he does as pre-Fat Thor.
He's a god.
That is my point. That's my viewpoint.
What?
He's a god.
He's a deity. His entire being is symbolism.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, there's a very loud and vocal minority out there who I guess they.
I mean, did they equate Fat Thor to be like a symbolism for body shaming or something now? Where it's like, how dare you body shame me?
So like the one thing that I do like about Fat Thor is that he presents this whole message of you can be worthy no matter what
That's
happens.
great.
Yeah.
That is very true. Yeah. Because I've read that a time or two. And it's like, okay, I applaud that. That was a great thing.
I think that's great, and like it
without a doubt,
it works for that movie. It doesn't need to be a permanent thing, though, because I mean, and once again, I'm not defending anybody, but like in my viewpoint, keeping him that way is saying that Thor never fully recovers and gets his shit together. And I don't want to see Thor take the same kind of decline that the Hulk did.
I mean, if you were to take the same liberties that people have in giving Fat Thor meaning in such a powerful yet awesome way, you would be right in your mind and allowed even by their standards to say such, because you're right. That does mean that he never takes the steps in bettering himself, again, according to my dorky brain, it goes back to a Patreon episode that we had done recently, a couple weeks back even, BoJack Horseman, where we talk about a character who you cannot keep apologizing for your shortcomings and your fuck-ups and mistakes and not try to change. You're damaging those around you. But I digress. That's much more serious. That was a very much on purpose symbolism versus Thor, which is a very cool deriving symbolism that they kind of took from him. So back to the viewpoint here.
Yeah. Because it is like, for me, it's like, because we've had this discussion, I think maybe even on our Endgame review, but it's like I do truly appreciate Thor and Endgame, Fat Thor, because he did show everybody that, hey, it's okay if you hit setbacks, or if you fall, if you stumble,
exactly.
Like you're still fucking worthy.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful message. But I did also vocally voice my opinion. Like I I like Thor more in Infinity War because that Thor lost everything and then came back and took what was his.
Yeah.
I like that more because that says that you can hit the bottom, but you don't have to fucking stay there.
Exactly. Yeah.
And for me, I guess that resonated with me more.
Yeah.
Like that's the fucking shit that I'm talking about.
And that's totally okay. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, both movies presented a very interesting Thor. The Infinity War, that's what this one is, obviously. Infinity War, I'm not used to being seen talking with my hands so much, but I'm realizing how much I do when I go back and watch these.
I feel like we should have like action figures, like you have one of regular Thor and then one of fat Thor. You know?
Wait, give me a second here. What's the next closest? I'm not touching that. That's an expensive one. That's noisy. Here you go. So we got Thor Infinity. My kombucha and my knife. So there you go. My pocket knife. Yeah, right. But yeah, no seriousness. Games there. We'll get action figures later, buddy. Go to Walmart. Fat Thor. It was really cool.
King T'Chaka. Okay.
We do. That's really cool, actually. Yeah. Wait, hold that a little closer to the camera. Let me see.
That's my King T'Chaka action figure.
Yeah.
Fucking badass. Cool. Shout out to the homie Joe Brown.
Yeah. And still in its packaging. Yeah. But wow, where the fuck? Okay, there it is. I had to reload it, guys. But Infinity War Thor had a great concept. And you're right, he was brought down, forced to work with new teammates. One, he had to get a new eyeball. Yeah. We forget that, but he's a one-eyed man who's got a synthetic eye. And then two, he had to go see Peter Dinklage, the dwarf, oversized, to go get a new daggum weapon made, the Stormbreaker, which was super cool. Exactly. Yeah. That was such a cool point where he literally was showcasing how down he was coming back. And when he came back, dude.
But before we get there, we also can't brush over the fact that he, discussed watching his mother die, his father die, his brother die, his best friend die, and most of his planet get decimated. And so like that really sombering conversation he had with Rocket about all the people he loved that he saw die, and him being what's supposed to be like, a ruler and protector of Asgard, and he's like, I don't even have my weapon now, like what am I?
Right.
And so like losing all of that and losing a piece of himself, to see him hit that shitty bottom and then rise back and be the only one to even put a scratch on Thanos.
Yeah, that's true. When he came back, dude, he owned that battlefield. He made it known.
Bring me Thanos.
Yeah, that was great. Now, I will say this, though. There was one very important scene that does really support the cool point of view that we're getting from everyone else who have kind of gave symbolism to Fat Thor. The moment when he's standing with his mother and finally finding some much needed closure from the catastrophes he's lived through. And he goes, wait, before I go, holds out the hand, and all of a sudden Mjolnir comes, and he's ecstatic. He's giddy. And that positivity is just radiant with him finally for the first time in so many scenes where he's just like, I'm still worthy. Oh my gosh. And just him saying in surprise, in honest surprise, I'm still worthy. Look at this. That does give a lot of gravitas to what people are saying, where it's like, even in your darkest hour, you don't lose worthiness, Yeah. And that's dope. And that is super uplifting.
Yeah, because that's something that comes deep from within,
Right.
Not on the exterior. Yeah.
Now, I will say this, kind of to help pull us back into the subject line here and help us go full circle here. On a joking level, I don't think we're going to see Fat Thor in Guardians 3, only because Chris Hemsworth, I don't think is going to want to wear the fat suit again.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because this is the man who... No, he did sport the wig again. Yeah, he did put the wig back on. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Yeah. We were talking about Adam Warlock.
We were. Because we got him to the top. I remember how this one happened. We talked about Adam Warlock versus Thor. That's your fault. And
you're welcome. You're all welcome.
And then we mentioned the fact how it's too bad that so many people have wooded Mjolnir because it'd be cool to see Adam Warlock lifted.
Right.
And then from there we kind of spun up into a Thor tyrant.
So one last question to help us really go back into full frontal force here. Full frontal. So who would you cast as Adam Warlock?
I don't know, man. Like that's
because that's one that wasn't on my list. That's a question I'm fully asking. Homies, if you have some great casting ideas, obviously you can hit us up with a great message. Easy enough.
Yeah.
Booyah, booyah. Yeah, man. Yeah, boy. So Adam Warlock, that's a dope one, dude.
Oh yeah, he'd be really fun to bring in, and maybe they're saving him for the next big universal threat if they have one moving forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd be super cool to see. And then once again, I think that realistically speaking, I mean, just based on the past, the best chance to have to see him would probably be in Guardians 3.
Yeah. That does raise the question. If we realistically, I doubt they would do this for us, but that does raise the question now, because we talked about two characters and both of them have roped us back into Guardians 3 potentially.
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, Adam, I already said that I don't think Nova is going to make a live action debut soon.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Because I just want to put you against the wall and make you vote there, So Adam, but yeah, you just said that easy. Like, no, fuck it. Okay. I mean, it's the easier one to bring in because we've already introduced him, even though we have inklings of the Nova Corps. We actually have a name of an individual for this one.
Right.
Yeah.
That was,
and we've seen his cocoon. We know something's inside that.
And that is the difference. We know that he exists in the MCU.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas we have no idea that Richard Rider is even a name yet. So, yeah. Unless he fights Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel 2. Ayo, so let's go off to a new one, dude. Let's do a new one. I got one for fun here. I don't know the logistics or the legalities of her name yet, but we haven't talked about a female, and I want to talk about this actress in the most positive of ways. Spider-Woman.
Oh.
I want to see her on screen, dude.
Jessica Drew.
Jessica Drew, exactly. What is her current legal status as a fictional character now? Is she MCU? Is she Sony? What's
she is, from my understanding, she's still technically Sony.
She is? Okay.
It's got the Spider name in it. Sony's like, that's ours.
So, okay. I mean, no, that's totally cool. It's not impossible now. It is almost implausible, but it is not impossible for us to see a Sony MCU coexisting product. It's possible for us to see that again.
Yeah.
And that's my thesis statement here, where hopefully, hear me out, we can get like a cool Spider-Woman property to help introduce her and thus start planting those seeds again, throw them down on the ground into the idea of the new Avengers.
That was such a fun run.
Dude, it really is, man. Dude, you got the book right over there, brother.
Yeah, I got 2 copies.
You got 2 copies. Oh, yeah, you do got 2 copies. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. New Avengers Omnibus. Read. Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah. That was such a great read. And dude, Spider-Woman was so dope to read about now because she was so impactful for the team. And I mean, no spoilers, but in good and bad ways. Now, as far as who to play her, I have a dead vote on this, and I'm willing to be open-minded only because that's the right thing to say. But I really want this actress to take the role, dude. Stephanie Beatrice.
Oh, really?
Right? Fuck yeah, dude. Right? I have total confidence in her. We've seen her be badass.
Oh, yeah.
And we've seen her be a team player.
Yes.
Okay? I am all for this action. Done.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that she would have good chemistry with Brie Larson? Because if they bring in Spider-Woman, she has to have good chemistry with Brie.
I would think so. I would. One, and this is a joke, so don't get your underwear up in a bunch. One, Stephanie Beatrice is not an old white man. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be good.
That was a good one. No, I'll give you that
one. Right. Yeah. Plus, it's Stephanie. Come on.
Right.
Come on. Bree's seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She knows what's up. Yeah. But I'm convinced of the range of Stephanie, not just because of her Brooklyn Nine-Nine appearance, the most popular one that she has, but I've also witnessed some of her vocal talents and the range of a more serious character, for lack of better words. You know, I'm not saying that Brooklyn Nine-Nine, she doesn't have her moments, but in BoJack Horseman, we hear her take the role of another pivotal and important character in that storyline.
Who's she in BoJack?
Do you remember
No.
Philip, the fictional TV show within BoJack Horseman?
Yeah.
Where he was like a detective. She was the assistant detective.
Oh.
She was the voice actress for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Which made total sense because it's like you're obviously really good at playing a cop role, so you're kind of playing a cop role here again. Yeah. It was fun and games. It was very tongue in cheek.
Filbert, was that the name of the guy?
No, Filbert. You're right, Filbert, not Philip. Filbert. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, dude, I just have a lot of confidence in her.
Yeah.
She's obviously great. I think she would be a close fit for Spider-Woman. Mm. Yeah. How would we introduce that?
I mean, I think the easiest way to do it would be in Captain Marvel 2.
Okay. Because you're right. They are two characters that are pretty closely associated. So yeah,
they're very, very much close friends.
Yeah.
I mean, also technically, I guess so is Carol and Jessica Jones.
Now, I feel like this could be another potential write-in. I like the Captain Marvel vote, but that's off the stuff that we know. This is also future play, so I'm gonna really play with the chessboard here a bit. I'm gonna dare say that we get her in a future Spider-Man property, unknown Spider-Man property, upside down question mark. But I don't know why it has to be upside down. Don't ask. But I really feel like that could be another potential thing here, where Sony and MCU kind of like play together nice and allow for a new introduction of another Spider hero character. I think that would really work, dude. They did so with Miles Morales, and that was obviously a raging success, even though that was purely a Sony property, mind you. And I'm cool with that if that's what they want to do with Spider-Woman here. But I think that would really work, you know? Yeah.
No, I think that is also like a realistic take on it. You know, having Sony want to have this character be and somehow, you know, either friends or related or some kind of correlation between her and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, even though technically in the comics there really is no correlation there at all.
Right?
Yeah.
Surprisingly not. Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, we were speaking about New Avengers just a few minutes ago. There was one pretty funny panel in that omnibus. I don't remember where in the omnibus, but it's somewhere in the omnibus.
Okay.
And it's where the two were talking. It's like during a meeting, and Spider-Man says something along the lines of saying that he probably should have got the whole Spider gimmick trademarked to Spider-Woman. And because like they're just kind of meeting technically for the first time,
right. In this telling, yeah.
He's like, so
I remember that.
Yeah,
it's like wait,
yeah. But no, Spider-Woman would be really fun to bring in. And then I guess that's also whether they could reintroduce who was it? I think it's the Hand, which we already know they have they already have the rights to, you know, thanks to Daredevil and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, because like there's some hand manipulation going on there. Hand manipulation. Thank you.
That was supposed to be clapping. It's kind of hard to tell in the video, but whatever. I was trying to be quiet for the mics. You get it.
Oh yeah. But no, Spider-Woman would be great to see.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Do you have another idea for a potential actress to take the role? Like, is there anyone that comes to your mind that you think would be as good or better of a fit as Stephanie? Because again, I'm, you know, on all seriousness, if you know something, hell yeah,
say something.
I heard it in my brain. I knew you were going to say it, and it's like you're watching the car about to hit the wall. It's like you can't look away.
Yeah. Like you know, like I think about this, and there's been rumors that for She-Hulk they might bring in Alison Brie or an Alison Brie type. I think she'll make a way better Spider-Woman than She-Hulk.
Okay, I could actually really see that. Alison Brie would be a really good Spider-Woman. It is interesting casting her as She-Hulk. I think they're really going for the lawyer type almost, more so than the She-Hulk type. Because I don't remember where I read it at, but there was a really cool detailed breakdown.
Yeah, like it's going to be like
no. It was on the back of the New Avengers omnibus. Actually, whenever I read that, yeah, one of the artists who was drawing that, I think it might have been Bendis. I don't remember. Help me out. I don't know.
Be an artist then?
No, he's not an artist. No, he's the I don't remember. Yeah, doesn't matter. But someone was talking about the breakdown of drawing She-Hulk
because load of fucking artists. God damn! Looking at the spine, it has like a list.
Oh wow, yeah, it does. Well, it's in the very back of the book. I promise it's in the back of that one. I'm pretty confident in that.
I don't believe you.
Okay, but they talked about the breakdown of drawing She-Hulk, and the idea is the challenge really is to draw her as She-Hulk, so she's not always so masculine, that she has the feminine side to her, but at the same time that she can Hulk out and have like hard lines, and like the idea that as she rages, essentially, that she becomes more Hulkish. Yeah. Keep going. I know it's somewhere around there. That looks super familiar. Where is that at?
Just to talk while we look for it. That is a really
it's the red pages and the red and black pages back here.
That's She-Hulk there.
That's She-Hulk, but that's not the one I'm looking at. Because the one I'm looking at, they were talking about like as she progressed from strong to Hulk angry strong.
Yeah, that was at the very beginning of the Omni when that takes place. There is something here. It looks like David Finch, the artist, is talking here. He does say. He approached her in a different way. I went for a wider, more brutish face, and I think they really started to work. I didn't intentionally make her go from thin to wider, actually. I was looking at Brian Hitch's Hulk, and it rubbed off on her look a lot, especially facially.
Yeah.
And so that's one spot where he talks about some of the looks he went for She-Hulk.
Okay, I could have sworn that one of these pages was actually like breaking down like her. I'll take what I can get. But yeah, man. So in that case, if we're gonna move the cards around, we can't leave a blank spot. So fictional world time. Again. Alison Brie is recasted and configured to be Spider-Woman. Who would be She-Hulk?
I think Gina Carano would be a phenomenal
choice.
Going
to the popular vote. Yeah.
I mean, call it popular. It's my fucking vote.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good vote. Yeah. The one thing that makes me very sad at this is that I'm not going to see Stephanie Beatrice, and I wanted to see her take one of the roles here. I think that she'd be a great fit for the MCU.
Oh yeah.
I like the idea of Alison Brie if they decided for her to be Spider-Woman.
Yeah. I mean, like I know that's it now. Even with She-Hulk, they specifically said looking for an Alison Brie type.
Okay.
Yeah, which is an interesting sentence. But I guess Hollywood does this all the time.
Yeah.
You're looking for a Brad Pitt type to kind of fill this role,
right? AKA typecasting. But yeah,
that's what that is. Yeah.
I mean, in that case, what about Stephanie Beatrice being She-Hulk? I don't know. Let's just do the simple change.
Yeah. I mean, I can actually see that. I mean, for one thing, like if they go for a non-CG She-Hulk, she's got the height for it.
Rosa. Man, oof.
That all right.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm done. Good night. All right. Your turn. What's up?
Let's go for a big one here that we have avoided so far.
Sure.
Wolverine.
You son of a bitch.
You're in.
It's too soon, man. It's too soon.
Listen, bud.
It's eternally too soon.
We gotta rip that bandage off.
No. Okay, no. No, okay. All right, you son of a bitch. Who'd you cast?
It's funny. Like about a week ago, there was a rumor going around that that Marvel really wanted Henry Cavill for Wolverine.
Yep, I heard about that, man. I even read it.
Mm-hmm. And like that's, I mean, don't get me wrong, I can see it. Like we know he can do a growly voice.
Yeah.
And we, I mean, as far as the build goes, hell, he's just as, if not taller than Hugh Jackman. I think they're probably the same height. So I mean, if that is like an actual rumor, then it's like MCU has no qualms about getting somebody who's 6 feet tall for Wolverine.
Right. Yeah. At that point, they probably gave up on the idea of a short Wolverine.
I don't think that Hollywood wants to. I think they really want a tall, handsome, rugged Wolverine.
Yeah.
Which like I feel like if you really want to get away from so many comparisons to Hugh Jackman, you should probably get someone who doesn't have a build like Hugh Jackman. You should probably get somebody who is maybe a little bit more proportioned to the character.
Are they trying to get away from a comparison type of Hugh Jackman?
That's what I would do if I were them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't have my phone on me, but I did see something today about another actor, and I do not remember his name. It's something complicated, something something. I'd have to look it up later, homies. Don't hold me to it. But he had some professional images of him as Wolverine, I think, or something like that. I didn't click on it. It kind of looked like clickbait, you know. But I know that the clickbait was titled something like, "Oh, this actor something." His pictures were looked at by Hugh Jackman, and Hugh Jackman says this, and it's obviously just wanting you to click on the shit.
Right.
I don't know how much legitimacy is there, but it introduced the concept, and of course, I briskly scrolled the fuck past it because too soon. But yeah, man. So okay, Henry Cavill. That would be kind of the fitting idea if we wanted to do the Hollywood stereotype of your tall, rugged, handsome guy who's obviously just raging with Hugh Jackman style muscles here.
Right
now, freaking new age Geralt of Rivia muscles apparently.
Yeah.
But if we don't typecast Wolverine, who?
I have always liked the idea of having like a having like Tom Hardy. I think would make a fantastic Wolverine.
Tom Hardy is another one of those actors that he would be good in a number of super people roles.
It's like I guess because he's not 6 feet, and that's kind of like a rarity in like A-type Hollywood roles. And so like he is short and like he's rugged everywhere you see him.
Yeah.
And everything you see him in even. And he's also stocky.
Yeah.
I mean, so and also like that's just speaking of like his physical appearances. Now, as far as like his acting goes, Tom Hardy, enough said.
Right. That's a trustworthy name.
Yeah.
I could see it. I could see it. I mean, you know me, brother. I didn't even write that name on my list, dude. I avoided it, but it's worthy to talk about. It is.
See, me, I don't have this problem. I'm a Batman fan. I hop back and forth from Batman's all the time. It's no problem for me.
You've been numbed to the thing. You hear the announcement of Robert Pattinson. All right, let's see what the fuck he does.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Yeah, and
right.
There is, just on the topic really quick, there is kind of like a really interesting benefit to that. Because I think like the same thing with Robert Downey Jr. even like a lot of fans run the risk of becoming attached to the actor playing the character versus being attached to the character.
I can see that. I grew up with a Hugh Jackman Wolverine, as many of us have. Let's face it. My case is not that special, but the way you put it is very accurate, where it's like, okay, you do kind of become attached to the idea of this actor in the role here. Which is funny because Hugh Jackman himself as an actor, if you ask me about his other products and his other movies and stuff, I'll say like, oh yeah, I watched them. Oh, are you a diehard fan? Oh, it's more like how damn good he was at Wolverine, where you're just like, okay, I feel like this is already so great. Why are you trying to change this? I like this recipe already. Why do I need a new recipe? It's obviously worked. So it's like, but he's tired of the role, and that's totally cool, and that's totally okay. But that does kind of create the idea of like, okay, that's a really big set of shoes, you know. I feel like Tom Hardy could fill those shoes. I have faith in his acting. He is Venom, though, isn't he? Who's playing?
Yeah, no, he's currently Venom.
Okay, so I don't know the legitimacy behind that idea, unfortunately. But yeah, man, I mean, yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I do know, like, whoever they do get for Wolverine, very much similar to your original cast of Avengers, is going to be a multi-year, probably a decade long at the minimum type of deal where you know, you're going to be in this role for the long ride.
Right, like you're signing a multi-year contract. You're doing this one contract for this many movies. Yeah.
You're going to be 5-6 movies.
The same thing Chris Evans was worried about.
And, you know, with that being said, like I also think that they probably want to go for, you know, someone fairly young. I can see them going with an unknown.
Honestly, that's kind of where my vote lies, you know, because I think there's a lot of power in finding your naturally talented, awesome unknown who can exuberate that rage, that berserker style that Wolverine carries so, you know, potently. Yeah.
And I got to be honest, like I am a huge Wolverine fan. If they do introduce him, which we need to talk about this, if they do introduce him in an X-Men movie, he doesn't need to be front and center for the whole goddamn thing.
Agreed. No. Because as much as I love those movies in the past, that is one thing that the movie itself made into a sin, where it's like, okay, there's other people besides Wolverine,
right?
And I will always love a Wolverine fight scene. Don't get me wrong. Let's watch Logan, but I don't need you to try to sell me the idea that this is Wolverine and the X-Men. Right? That's not what the team is. That's not what the team ever has been. Unless you're trying to watch like the cartoon that never picked up off the ground that much. But that's about it, you know?
Right.
So
unless
you're
you want to give me an X-Force movie where he
now
was
that I'm taking.
But that would have to be rated R. I won't take anything less, and I don't think Disney would do it. So therefore, no X-Force movie.
Oh, brother. What the fuck you doing to me, man?
I'm sorry.
Now I do want to go to bed.
X-Force, they'll have to put Deadpool in that shit too.
Right,
I mean, like,
right.
I mean, those are two.
Give him the gray suit.
Those are two R-rated machines that you just can't do.
Well, luckily, if they do Deadpool, they're gonna want to use Ryan Reynolds, and if they get Ryan Reynolds, he's not gonna want to do it unless it's R-rated.
Yeah.
So there's be a little bit more tug there, you know.
He might be on. They might potentially do a. I guess my fear is if they do an X-Force movie, I do have more faith that. Yeah, it has to be Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
and I do have a lot of faith that it'll be rated R if Ryan Reynolds, you know, says this has to be rated R. Where my fear comes in is I don't think that they will put Wolverine in that because they will want him to be in a lot of their PG-13 too.
Get ready for this. I'm about to spin some shit. All right. Get ready, guys, because I'm about to flip the fucking table his cool way and help produce the movie, which they would trust him for because obviously he's done very well in the past for that. 2, if he's producing the movie and portraying one of the main force characters, he himself on multiple in front of camera occasions, has advertised that no, I want Hugh Jackman to come and be Wolverine with me in one more product. He and I together. Because he and Hugh Jackman would buddy cop up for an X-Force fucking movie.
I have a strong
mic drop, but not really because these guys are expensive.
I have a strong desire to see that. I have next to no faith in that.
I have like no faith in that shit either. Don't get me wrong, but you get my point. Like if Disney were to
want that, I mean, as of now, it sounds like that's
right now. I think that's a no, but I think that's also because it's a joking concept because it's such a far-fetched idea that Ryan would be given this much property power, you know, that this movie, this X-Force potential would come into play in such a way. Ryan. But I feel like if it were to come across, I think out of friendship alone, I think he would say yes to it. I think so. I think he would say yes to it with his own clauses. But I think in this perfect reality where all these dominoes just fell into place perfectly and all the cards were on the table, I think we would get around. Please be the realistic pessimist.
Damn. In this universe here, we're building this movie.
Okay.
That would mean that Marvel would have to be okay with all of this we just discussed, and they have to be okay with, from what you're saying, essentially having two different Wolverines, one for their main MCU verse and one for Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, or X-Force.
They're about the money.
Kevin Feige, if nothing else, is about cohesiveness.
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay. I'll give you that. But get this. So, what if Disney didn't do the movie? If we're going to keep far-fetching the idea, let's just far-fetch past the fucking threshold. Let's just jump off the cliff.
No X-Force.
No. We get an X-Force.
Okay.
Sony. Why not?
Why would they do it? Would Marvel just give the properties to Sony?
No. Which studios did Deadpool?
Oh, Fox.
Oh, excuse me. That's what I mean. Okay, Fox. Okay, so
but there's no more Fox.
Fuck, you're right. Fuck. Okay, bear with me. Okay, I still have a court case.
Okay, all right.
Someone bring my other folder. Okay, thank you. All right, fuck you. And two, all right. And two, no, fuck you again. And three now.
Your Honor, those first two motions need to be moved. They are not
sustained. Boom. That's what that means. I think lawyer. I don't know. I haven't been sued. Let's not make it a thing. But I don't know.
Yeah, I
never went to court. Not serious.
All right.
Or excuse me, not court with that at least. But yeah, anywho, I see so much like financial gain from the property that Disney might. But how do you do that then? What if you don't introduce Wolverine into the MCU yet? No, that doesn't work either. Fuck, because we already had an X-23 too, so never mind. Plus, the whole idea is kind of concocted. I'm just thinking out loud. You know me. Oh. The cohesiveness is the one big part of that equation that doesn't make sense to me, because that does kind of throw this whole fictional idea further out the window than it already is. But if that wasn't an issue, I do feel that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are going to be household names, big and powerful enough that would win sway alone with the potential money that would bring in. And I think that would win Disney over. I have faith in that. But I will give you that Kevin Feige is also not just about the fat stacks in his wallet, but also, hi, Kevin. But if he ever watches, right? Hopefully. Hi, Kevin Feige. What's up? We're fans. But you're right. He is also about the continuity and the cohesiveness of the movies. So, yeah.
It's a tricky one. I guess
it really is. It
to
really
give
is.
you, I guess, a potential glimmer of hope is like,
okay.
Like,
I mean, there's no hope, but I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, but no.
Eventually, Ryan is going to get tired of asking. Come on.
So they are doing a Blade movie, and traditionally speaking, Blade, his 3 movies have been R-rated.
I mean, you did just show me a panel where he kills 2 women that he had a threesome with or something crazy like that.
That was in the Ultimate Verse.
That was in the Ultimate Verse. Okay. Okay. It was still in the panel, but okay.
And I mean, if we're really being fair here, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe draws heavily from the Ultimate Verse. Heavily. I mean, hell.
Well, even more than Blade from the Ultimate Verse is a pretty R-rated dude.
Oh, absolutely. Blade in every format.
Mahershala Ali, first scene in a threesome.
Saying fuck while he fucks. You know, that's the ultimate R-rated move.
Some motherfuckers want to fuck uphill with some ice skates. Or however the line's going to go for that.
That line needs to be abolished.
It really... Oh, gosh. Oof.
Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
I love it. I love
Wesley Snipes, Blade, 1998.
I love the absurdity behind it, though. You cannot tell me that is a great line.
It's a great line for all the wrong reasons.
It really is.
Okay. But no, let's move on, because like we've spun around like a lot of hopes and desires for Wolverine.
Right.
How do you think they will implement him in the MCU? Do you think they'll introduce him separately, or do you think they introduce him with the X-Men? I see value in both.
I think for the simplicity of it, he needs to be introduced with the X-Men.
Okay.
Because if they introduce him separately, I feel like they're going to fall back on the same crutch, where Wolverine has to be the limelight front stager, and then the potential team that he works. Shut the fucking thing down. Put that shit away.
All right.
No one asked you. I'm sorry. I asked you. Put that back up. The money makes sense, but I feel that. I mean, writing me says no, introduce him with the team, because you're right. In the past, the common sin was that it was always Wolverine and the X-Men or whatever. But that would just recreate the same issues, just with a new face. If they did it potentially the way that we're thinking about it, which might be pessimistic, you could argue that. But where he's introduced solo, just, taking the stage light. You could introduce him solo in theory, not with a team, and then eventually finding a team.
Right.
But the problem there is that
mentioning that he is part of a team in whatever the solo venture is.
True. It could be done. That just also becomes tricky. Like you're tactfully walking the bridge there,
right?
Where you could teeter to either side, where you become the solo movie, but then you become a team guy, and then all that steam that you create for the solo movie is kind of lost, or you steamroll the team, and again, it's Wolverine and team. Yeah. So,
then that is true. I do think that you're right. For simplicity's sake, it is best if you introduce him with the X-Men, introduce them all together.
Right.
I think that Marvel has the ultimate way to bring them all in. You get Joss Whedon, the man who wrote the Astonishing X-Men.
Hold that a little closer. That's a great one, dude. That was such a fun read too.
Oh yeah. You get Joss Whedon, the same man who wrote the Astonishing X-Men Omni that I'm holding in my hand, the same man who directed Avengers 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
You make up with him and you play nice, and you get him to direct the X-Men when you bring him back. That's the way you do it.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, this was such a great read.
Oh, really?
Don't do it the Ultimate Marvel way. Yeah. Right. That was a cool comic book to read as well.
Yeah.
But that's so what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
Yeah. That made.
I mean, because like one cool thing about this run is that it's not Wolverine centered. Like every member of the X-Men gets their focus, and it's really only like 6 core members. In this specific run, but you can really like mix it up depending on who you want to use. And obviously Joss has an understanding of the X-Men because he fucking wrote them for a while, a good while. I mean, I think it's just simplest if you have him do it.
Yeah.
I think it's simple. I think it'd be a great product because this was a really fun run on the X-Men.
And plus, let's face it, dude, it would be beneficial for Disney to make up with one of the most powerful names in comic book storytelling, Joss Whedon, presently, that would just be beneficial for both parties, especially for Disney and Marvel in the long run, where it's like, that's a friend you kind of want to have, so there's a lot of power there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I'm not sure what Joss is working on now in terms of like his television shows and movies, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he'd be interested in working with Marvel Disney again, but it'd be great if he could, if he'd be willing to come back and do X-Men. I mean,
Yeah.
because he knows how to do a team dynamic. I mean, hell, like we've said so many times before in the podcast, had Avengers 1 not been the major monumental success that it was, then we wouldn't have the MCU we have today. I mean, I think that Marvel owes him that much. I mean, everybody talks about the Russos. No one wants to talk about Joss, though.
Right.
Like, give this man his fucking
I want
flowers.
to talk about Joss. Joss is cool.
Oh yeah.
There you go, brother.
But no, I think that'd be a really cool way to introduce the X-Men, though.
Hell yeah.
So that's the best way to bring them, or have them all in their own movie. But
right,
from a storytelling aspect, Kevin, how do you handle the X-Men? Like, they're not in the MCU, and now they are. How do you go about doing that? Don't you drink your tea? Put that goddamn cup down.
Delicious. My kombucha. All right, so I mean, fuck, dude. I mean, I would almost. There's too much. Bear with me. I'm thinking out loud again, homies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a common habit, so judge me if you need. But don't. Come on. Let's face it. I would want to surprise introduce them. I would want it to happen in the middle of another big movie where they came out and all of a sudden, bam, they're on screen and it is blatant who they are. It's not a hint. It's not a soft drop. It's not a camera pan and a post-credit cutscene looking at the Xavier Mansion front lawn or something crazy like that. I want it to be like a big moment and all of a sudden the X-Men show up to help out. Like it is near their home turf in Manchester or something cool like that. And they are on the fucking scene. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an old team. It could be like a fresh rendition of them if need be or whatever have you. That's okay with me. And then that I would want that cool surprise intro because everyone knows who they are. We've seen the X-Men movies by now. Everyone at least has a common idea of what these people are and who they are and what they do, what they represent, etc. So I don't necessarily need an origin movie like X-Men 1, the original one.
Right.
I don't want to rehash that because we got that. Do the same thing you do with Spider-Man, where you could talk about the origin loosely in some cool scenes.
I mean, even in X-Men 1, like, they were already a team. Like, we don't see the formation of the team.
Yeah.
They're just already, I guess that'd be like in fucking First Class.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would want them, however, whenever we do finally get their own property, their own movie, to deal with another threat, whatever have you, because we know Marvel. They're gonna use a villain and throw them away at the end of the movie. That's what they've done. If they do it for this movie, I want them to do that and lead them up to having their own thing, like Mr. Sinister. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
What story you choose to tell, I'm not sure. There's too many options that my brain is trying to fire at too many at once to try to pick one in the moment. But I like the idea of just being proud of it and just in someone else's property, bam, they're on the scene. Look at them, they're here. It is obviously the X-Men and they're badass and they're having a great moment. And we get like a little bit of a character flush if we need, where we can actually like meet the actual personalities behind the heroes and actually talk with them and whatnot, whatever would fit. Obviously, the writing matters. And then they're gone and we're back. Movie ends. Whenever time later, X-Men movie comes out, solo run, it's them, and we're finally introduced and warmed up to the concept that they are having their own thing right now, and it's happening, and it's part of the big picture, like the MCU does so well, but it is them slowly becoming a part of that big picture somehow. I think Mr. Sinister would be dope for that. I don't know how that would fit. I'm just writing in my head right now on the spot, but I have a lot of... I think that'd be dope, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, a couple of things for me. Like, one,
Sure.
I think that you can you can definitely do an X-Men movie without Magneto.
Agreed.
Magneto,
it doesn't have to be him.
Magneto would be amazing, obviously, but you don't have to use him.
Yeah.
You can save him for something else.
Please.
And two, I think the way that you bring him in, at least the way I would do it at this point, Doctor Strange 2, man, like this, it's already there. Use Doctor Strange 2 as your vehicle
for Magneto.
No, for the X-Men.
There you go. Okay, that made more sense.
Yeah, because we're talking about the X-Men right now. How to use them?
Exactly.
I would say, I mean, hell, you can use not just for the X-Men. Even you can use them in for all your properties. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's going to co-star Scarlet Witch. I mean, come on.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense too, because Scarlet Witch has a lot of bridge and ties to the X-Men, so that could potentially work. That's in the more immediate future, and I'd love for that to be the case, because then that means we're getting the X-Men even sooner, in theory. But yeah, as long as you don't try to play it off as like, oh, the X-Men only exist in this other multiverse, which I mean,
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, my prejudice aside, you could make that work. Marvel right now has the prowess to make that okay and to play off well in the long game. I just don't want them to have to fucking retcon their own stuff in this saga. I want it to be...
Because like the alternative is they do the same thing that they've done with like the Ancient One and Captain Marvel, where you come up with a really honestly a lackluster feeling as to why they weren't present for these other events. And I think that if the X-Men, if you say, well, they are from this other universe, I think that's, I mean, because otherwise, where the fuck have they been?
Exactly.
Have any of them been?
Yeah. Because they would have gone to New York had such a big thing happened. Yeah. Charles would have been like, no, we got to go protect those people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And like you could say that, oh, they've remained hidden. All of them for all of this time? I mean, hell, even if Marvel, which they've done this time or two as well, even if they want to go back and take a closer look at an event and unfold it even more, you look at Age of Ultron, where we see Baron von Strucker, and they say he's experimented with their children, and that children being, of course, Pietro and Wanda, to give them their powers. Ironically enough, this is around the same time in Marvel Comics when they revealed, oh, they're not children of Magneto. Just to kind of separate, them from the X-Men. But I mean, honestly, I think you could say that Baron von Strucker, he didn't use the Infinity Gem he had to give them their powers. He used it maybe to draw them in from somewhere else. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do to kind of define where these two mutants, because they're mutants. You could say that these are where these mutants came from. I mean, so I do think that Doctor Strange 2 is a great vehicle to use to bring in the X-Men.
I can see it. I do have skepticism about the multiverse idea, but I do also still see that working. It's just not the one that I would choose personally, but prejudice doesn't really come into play whenever it comes to this grander scheme of an idea. So it could work. It could work.
So how would you bring them in then?
Like I talked about,
So they're already here? Or in the universe?
Okay. I see what you're questioning now. Okay. With something like that, I like the idea of them being fresh. Like they want a team during the events of New York, during the events of in-game and whatnot. Like they were still finding themselves, because we've seen them play with the timeline. That could work.
Right.
The multiverse idea, however, would be simpler in the light that we're kind of painting it here, where it's like, okay, we're doing this thing, boom, oh look, here this thing called the X-Men exists, cool, and kind of help bridge that over in the longer run of things. I mean, I could see that working out too, because that would also do a better job, you're right, and we have to make fun of this, of Marvel's sin, which is, where the fuck were you during this, Ancient One, or where the fuck were you, Doctor Strange, during the events of it?
You too, Captain Marvel, like all that power you have, where were you? Tony Stark got PTSD because you weren't on Earth.
That memory just flooded back in my mind?
What's that?
South Park, that old country singer, whenever the kids were trying to build a tower to heaven to get like something Kenny had or whatever, And the country guy kept coming in. Where were you?
Oh,
They were making fun of like the
yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because like I said, it was a memory that just like shot back after we started joking about like Doctor Strange. Where the fuck were you, man?
Right.
Yeah, but
oh hell yeah,
yeah.
But
yeah, man.
That'd be super fun. Oh, I guess another idea they could use really quick, and this could rope in Fantastic Four even. I mean, here's the thing, like especially in like my recent readings, like Avengers and whatnot, and even a little bit of Hulk. Like I've really come to love and appreciate the Fantastic Four, specifically Reed Richards. He's the fucking shit, man.
He really is.
He's awesome. I love the idea, like the end of whatever movie. I guess this really doesn't matter. There's this fucking portal that opens up, and out falls Reed Richards with the full beard. You know he's been through some shit. Maybe his family behind him. And he goes, I think this is it. I think this is.
Or even better, he's like trying to stretch through, and he's got something like holding, and you see his arm just elongated back. You know,
yeah. I mean, you just have it be like, because that's the way to you can basically set up the premise that they're coming in from, whether it be another universe or another dimension, whatever it is, they're coming in because theirs is being destroyed, and they're bringing in the few survivors they have left.
Yeah.
So, whoever Marvel just got the rights to.
Exactly.
And like these are the only people we have left.
Oh, and, look, come! And there's like a whole Noah's Ark of like mutants and every super person, and all the properties at once.
We need to warn whoever the Guardians are here before the threat comes here, essentially. And that threat could be,
you guys are Avengers? We lost our Avengers. Yeah. Here's what happened.
I mean, there's literally an arc in the Jonathan Hickman's Avengers run that covers that entirely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, so that'd be fascinating. That's also what they kind of introduce them.
Admittedly, that'd be much simpler.
Yeah. Introduce them and a big bad without even saying who your big bad is, but just saying, hey, there's another looming threat out there that just swallowed up our entire universe. And it's going to do the same thing to you guys.
That's like an Avengers scale movie, because that's going to be a lot of people. That's going to be the surprise reveal of the X-Men. Yeah. That's going to be the big reveal of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Maybe even Deadpool making a cameo. Like, there's a lot.
I want to see John Krasinski steal this. Reed Richards, by the way. Like, I'm not letting up the gas on that.
We can't.
We can't.
No.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
It's done. What are we talking about?
Seriously. I mean, are we waiting on the paperwork? What's the holdup?
Exactly. John, sign that shit and make that money. Come on, man.
And let us know. We won't tell anybody. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Even though we literally have mics and cameras, come on. We're not. Next week's episode is just literally titled the reveal. Yeah. So
speaking of hype, really quick, there is this one rumor that I didn't want to mention, but it's been getting so much traction now. I mean, that I can't help but to get excited about it.
Please.
Spider-Man 3 is apparently going to be fucking balls.
Okay.
And all the best ways. I mean, they're saying that that he's going to need some representation in the form of law, and that his lawyer will be Matt Murdock, and that apparently Matt Murdock will be Charlie Cox.
Holy fucking half, dude! What? That's the best. I had his name on this list. I literally had the Defenders on this list because I do not want to lose Charlie Cox as Daredevil, dude. Holy fucking half, dude. What?
So this was just like it was just
when does Spider-Man 3 come out again? Because it's not soon enough.
So
what?
This is just like a random rumor that I had heard, and I was like, whatever. And then, days go by, whatever. And then I see it again, whatever. I see it again. And then different places start reporting the same thing.
Okay.
And then different YouTubers start reporting it. And then other different outlets start saying, hey, this is it. But apparently, like, what they're saying now is that the reason why you're not seeing it even more is because obviously Marvel wants to keep this under fucking wraps. They're saying everything about Spider-Man 3. They don't want a peep drop about Spider-Man 3, but this is the ongoing rumor, guys, that yes, Daredevil will be in Spider-Man 3.
You better not tell Tom Holland shit. But dude, that is exciting as hell.
Yeah.
I love that idea. Oh my gosh. That brings so many questions. We have to talk about that.
I
mean, I don't know how or when. That's almost a whole nother episode. But it's like, dude, what point in Daredevil's life are we going into? Oh my gosh, dude!
Right.
Does this mean that we could potentially get Jessica Jones again, or fucking Luke Cage? Holy fuck! The ironic thing is, I wrote down the Defenders, but I left the dash underneath a sub plot to change Iron Fist. Unfortunately, cough. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
With Shang-Chi, like I doubt they'll put like another extreme martial artist in anytime soon. So.
True. So we might just get Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil. That could work.
And Punisher potentially.
And John Bernthal. You're right.
I said Punisher.
No. I heard what you said. I fixed it. I want John Bernthal as Punisher again, okay? You can try to give me Thomas Jane, and I won't complain, but we both know you're giving me the vegetarian meat here, okay? And I ordered freaking John Bernthal Punisher. Yeah.
And the thing of it is, like, man...
No offense to vegetarian meat, but...
Put that shit all the way out of here. Listen, if you're going to be a vegetarian or a vegan, more power to you. I'll fucking salute you.
True.
You're fake ass meat. Like if you want to eat meat, then eat meat. Don't find the fake ass shit.
So it's all made from soy, though, dude. You're not into that?
Well, no.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, granted, I'm not into that either. That's not really for me. But if that makes them happy, do what makes you happy. That's cool.
If you don't want to eat meat,
I don't want that shit.
If you don't want to eat meat, then why would you shape your beans or your soul into something that looks and resembles meat?
Well, okay, wait. I'll give vegetarians this, and no, we're not stopping this tangent anytime soon. Bean burgers, I'll give them. I'll give them that because literally it's just a patty where you push beans together into a fucking patty shape. That's existed before vegetarian fake ass meat. That was just a way to eat your beans, like refried beans or bean burritos or something.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at like vegan made shrimp, vegan made chicken, what is the point?
I know I told you that story before of my experience with the synthetic meat. This guy, an old friend of mine, actually, I hope he's doing well. We don't really talk too much anymore, but we went to this restaurant in one of the larger capital cities. It was Atlanta, and we went to this place that had synthetic meat. It was like a Chinese place, and we tried it out, guys, and sure enough, he was like trying to sell me on the concept the whole time, and it does taste different. You will never convince me that it does taste exactly. No, it does not taste exactly the same. It is different. That's okay if that's you. You do you, though. Don't push it on me. Because I'm always going to order the real orange chicken or the real beef and broccoli, okay?
Protein brownies don't taste anything like regular brownies.
It's so true.
There's just no...
Which reminds me of that friend who made protein cookies for us. And they were really good, but they were butt ugly cookies. They do not look like cookies. Yeah. They tasted great, though. So thank you, friend. I know you're hopefully watching.
Shout out to Beast Boy and all the other, comic book characters and homies out there that may be vegetarian or vegan.
I had to think for a second. Why the fuck are you talking about Beast Boy? That's DC. Wrong episode.
But no. There's a lot of cool and just going back to like the Defenders and like the potential Daredevil reveal in Spider-Man 3, and just tying all that in together, man. It's like. With Deadpool being I would say the R-rated entry into MCU films, I think that you can essentially carve out your own little niche of MCU R-rated films with, I guess you have Blade, who you have to throw in there, or maybe not. Daredevil can go both.
He can go either way.
I do definitely see more benefits to him being in the PG-13 route.
Same here. That works.
But Punisher,
nope. R.
It has to be R. Obviously, Blade, we always say it has to be R.
Yep.
I mean, so there are your caveat of characters that have to be R.
This is purely a vote. I could see this one going either way too, but I feel like this would be more beneficial to the character if he was R. I don't want another PG-13 Ghost Rider. I want a rated R Ghost Rider. PG-13 Ghost Rider did not do him justice. No offense, Nick Cage. Total offense.
I guess to play devil's advocate,
please.
The rating with it was whatever.
Sure.
The writing.
No, the writing was What?
It could have been rated XXX, and it still would have been god awful. It's like there's titties in this. How am I not entertained?
Wow. Who was the actress who was in that movie, dude? She was gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Again, my phone's not with me, so I can't Google stuff like I always do. But yeah, we'll look it up later.
Yeah. It'll probably come to at least later on sometime. Anyways,
dude. Yeah. Defenders
would be great.
That's some of the best news I've heard this whole episode that we might potentially get.
Yeah. Potentially, homies.
Potentially. Capitalized, italicized, underlined.
Yeah. Let's talk about at least a villain before we close up, though.
Okay.
Or you go ahead.
Okay. No. I wasn't gonna say. I was gonna suggest one who's played the role of both villain and hero. One that we've already talked about a little bit. Namor.
Oh yeah.
Because I had a suggestion for that actually. Two suggestions for that one actually.
Let me hear it.
Yeah. What you buying? That's what that voice reminded me of a little bit. Homies, leave it in the comments if you know who I'm referencing. You all know who I'm referencing. But for Namor, I was envisioning either Zachary Quinto or Luke Evans to play the part of Namor in his big reveal. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Luke Evans, huh?
Yeah. I can kind of see it. Yeah.
Zachary Quinto. They've recast people before because I think he was in. I want to say that Zachary Quinto.
Quinto or Quinto? I went with the Spanish rules for his last name. So
he hasn't been in the MCU movies. No, I've always tried to pronounce Quinto, but
okay.
He was in the.
Obviously, I don't. So
he was in the movie. Not the movie. The TV show Heroes, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Phenomenal first season of television. Excellent. Okay. Anyways, he'd be interesting. I can see him.
Well, Heroes isn't really associated with a Marvel property, is it?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
What was up?
No, I was just wondering what the problem is then. Even if he was or wasn't.
No, because before that, I was like, I thought that he was.
Oh wait, no. I gotta make a lyric joke. What the fuck is it? We can be heroes, just for one day. Now I'm done. Please continue.
All right.
Yep.
No, I can see him though as Namor. Like I've seen fan mock-ups of Keanu Reeves as Namor.
I've seen those too, actually. Yeah. I kind of want to get. Well, Keanu Reeves would be dope in whatever he does, but let's face it, yeah.
I don't see.
That's a lot of food for thought.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta stew on that one.
Yeah. But don't marinate for a while. But yeah, as far as Namor goes,
done. It works.
It's a microwave idea. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
It's a hot pocket. Please continue. You're about to share a thought.
So with Namor, like obviously they've laid the potential groundworks for if they wanted to be Namor, it could be. If not, it means nothing.
Kind of playing the whole seed game like we talked about before, Abraham, where they just cleverly wrote in this use or not use the concept. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And, we've all heard the rumors that he's going to be the big bad or the antagonist in Black Panther 2, which, come on.
Right.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be super amazing. Yeah. I mean,
those two have an incredible beef with one another. Like, I mean, it runs deep. It runs.
It makes sense.
Deep.
It is two kingdoms, so it's super cool to think about. It's a great story that you don't get tired of. So I'm down for that. I'm hopeful. Part of me is like, that's too good. I can't see it happening because it's too money. Yeah. But I love the idea of T'Challa having to get Wakanda up in arms against Atlantis, a place that's like, wait, this exists? This is a thing? Yeah.
It's funny because, like, in Black Panther 1, people were saying the same thing about Wakanda, like that this is a place, like this is real.
Right, yeah.
But like, just speaking of Black Panther 2, like the other thing people were saying, and the other rumor is that's going to be the introduction to Liberia and Dr. Doom, and that they could do Doom War instead of the Wakanda versus Atlantis war.
Wakanda is just cool, man.
There's too many directions they can go.
It is a fruitful land of many story opportunities. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I do think that for simplicity's sake, as far as like introducing Doom or Namor is the easier to do.
Yeah, they've already set up Namor a little bit too, and
plus like he lives deep in the ocean, so he's not concerned with the surface world. So why would he bother to come up for any of these other events?
He reads the Atlantean.
Right.
By the way, it is paper under the ocean. The salt water helps it to not dissolve in 5 seconds. So he's reading through. Oh, look, New York was attacked the other day by some aliens. How about that? Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. Not the newspaper, of course, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So,
Whereas with Dr. Doom, how do you hide Latveria?
He didn't give a fuck. I don't know how he didn't react to the snapping, but yeah.
Snap or any of the events that, because I thought that.
Oh well, actually, Namor would follow the same rule set. It was like, how did he not react to the snap?
I mean, he probably did, but still, why would he go to the surface world?
Yeah. That's easier to argue
against.
Well, you could almost argue the same for Latveria. Like, why would he leave his country then? Why would Doom think?
Yeah, I guess for me the issue is like
little column A, little column B.
For me, the issue would be topographical. Like, no one noticed this place here. Like, whereas Wakanda is supposed to be shrouded and hidden in mystery. Latveria is just there.
Yeah.
Which I know it's not there because somebody would have found it by now if it was. But like during any of the UN meetings or political meetings in any Marvel movie, it'll be interesting to pause, freeze frame through all of them, and see if you can see any kind of Latveria tag there. Like representative for Latveria, representative for wherever, blah blah blah.
I'd be down to try that experiment. Yeah, I'd be down to spend a good 30 minutes going through that. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that Marvel's like, no, because we don't have the rights to that name. Now we do. So
they just misspelled it. Latveria.
Right. Oh man. Or because I've also wondered, like, I bet that Sokovia would have to be somewhere near Latveria. It just feels like it.
Yeah.
It feels like it works.
What Marvel could do, if they wanted to, is if Doom wanted to make his presence so powerfully known in the MCU, he could take over a country and begin to dictate the country as its new leader and make it into Latveria and rebrand it. That could be a very powerful story if MCU went that route. Potentially a dark story, but you're trying to create one of the most powerful villains and staple him into the MCU. That could work with me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of fun options and opportunities, man.
There really are, dude. Yeah. We spent like 2 hours,
almost 2 hours,
talking about.
We barely scratched the surface.
Dude, this is gonna have to be a multi-episode. We're gonna have to do a part 2 on this. Yeah.
Because we didn't know exactly how this one was gonna go, but I mean, there's just so many ideas and concepts to play with.
I didn't even get through a third of my list.
Oh no.
Yeah, we went a couple directions here, and my whole list is like, well, you left me behind. Yeah, so.
Yeah, like this one, guys, we definitely have to revisit because there's just too many fun, especially as like we get more information or more rumors come about. Like there's just so much more out there for this type of episode. But is there anything else on this one you want to talk about before we start to wrap up?
I'm good here, brother. I got some fun ideas that I would want to do for the next episode here, and maybe some names to add and take away and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
We can't wait too long on this though, because we can't have like a Disney Plus TV show come out and it's like, oh well, look at this casting character. That would have been fun to talk about. Oh well. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, homies, seriously, like let us know what you guys think about potential usage of MCU characters now. How do you think certain characters are going to be brought in? How about Silver Surfer or Galactus? How about a lot of these characters? How do you think that they're going to be brought in and utilized in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Or some of the ones that we know are going to be more present through the TV series, like Moon Knight. That was one that was on my list I wanted to talk about. But until next time we pull this chapter up, again, like my brother over here said, feel free to leave us a comment or something regarding a character you want discussed, or maybe even a potential casting call idea that you have that we discussed that you think you might have a better fit for. We're down to hear it. We're down to read it. We'll even shout it out to the next time we do this, because this is, I didn't realize how deep this well goes. It goes deep, dude. MCU.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Also, homies, feel free to hit up our Patreon if you just need some more nerd shit in your life and you got time to listen to some more and you want to support your boys. Well, the Patreon is the way to do it. You can go there to patreon.com/superhero homies and find all the awesome other nerd content that we talk about. We're going to be adding some cool new episodes here for the next few weeks in regards to all the changes that we've had to make on our schedule. So get ready for some of that cool shit. But yeah, that's what I got, dude. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Absolutely, guys.
Yeah.
So that's going to be all for now. So until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And as always, I am Superhero Homie Kevin. And to you guys watching, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Until next time, we'll be able to do this some more. You got anything else you want to say to them, dude, before I turn it off?
Get money, fuck bitches.
Didn't you do that last time?
Maybe.
I feel like you did. I feel like that's deja vu. Well, you heard him here first. Booyah.